Hi children, now we are going to discussing about the third chapter hydrosphere. Already we discussed this hydrosphere in second lesson, the regions of the earth, mainly lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere. In this lesson about hydrosphere we learn in details. Hydro means water. This word derived from the Greek language hydro means water. Hydrosphere means all water bodies on the earth's surface, mainly tanks, rivers, oceans and seas. Why the water in seas and oceans never dry up? Because of hydrological cycle. It is also known as a water cycle. Due to the radiation, the water become a vapor and goes up, form a clouds. Again, give us rainfall. Again, water evaporate, goes up and form a clouds due to the condensation. The clouds give us a rainfall. This is a water cycle, also known as a hydrological cycle. Water is a renewable resources. It can be used and reused. The water cycle has been working for billions of years and all the life on the earth depend on it. Hydrological cycle is the circulation of water in different forms, that is the liquids, solids and gaseous phases. It is also referred to the continuous exchange of water between the oceans, atmosphere, land, surface and subsurface. The hydrological cycle sometimes is expressed mathematically as RF is equal to RO plus CT. RF means rainfall and RO means runoff, ET means evapotranspiration. There are 6 stages of water cycle: evaporation, transportation, condensation, precipitation, runoff and groundwater. Evaporation takes place mainly on water bodies. Water is a transform from the surface to the atmosphere through the evaporation. We can say simply water change into vapor or liquid change into gases. The sun's heat provides energy to evaporate water from the earth's surface. Plants also lose water to the air through the transportation. Next, transportation. The movement of water through the atmosphere, specifically from over the ocean to the over land in the form of clouds. Next, condensation. Condensation means vapor change into water. It is quite opposite of evaporation. In the evaporation, water change into vapor, but here vapor change into water. Generally, condensation takes place on clouds. The transported water vapor eventually condenses, forming tiny droplets and clouds. Precipitation. The primary mechanism for transporting water from the atmosphere to the earth's surface is precipitation in the form of rain, fog, hails and snow. Next, runoff. Most of the water which returns to land flow down hills as a runoff. Next, groundwater. Under special circumstances, groundwater can even flow outwards in artesian wells. The flow of groundwater is much slower than the runoff. Look at the picture. Hydrological cycle. The total water cycle we can see in this picture only. Due to the radiation, the water bodies become a vapor. Vapor goes up, form a clouds. Due to the condensation, landmass get rain. See at picture. The ocean water also taking evaporation. Evaporation going up, form a clouds. Due to the condensation, landmass getting rainfall. Not only ocean water, here lakes, rivers also evaporate due to the radiation. Here plants, that means vegetables also evaporate through the transportation. Here we can see cyclic water cycle. First, water bodies heated up and form a water vapor, and water vapor goes up, form a clouds. The clouds give us rainfall. Again the water due to the radiation, water become vapor. The vapor form a clouds. Clouds give us rainfall. This is called water cycle, also known as hydrological cycle. Look at the picture. Out of 100% of water on the surface, oceans containing 97.25%, ice caps and glaciers 2.05%, groundwater 0.68%, lakes 0.01%, rivers only 0.0001%. Now we are going to discussing about the water sources. Out of 100%, 97.25% of water saline in oceans, only 2.75% is fresh water in the oceans. The greatest fresh water we can see in the form of ice, mainly Arctic, Antarctic, with 68.7%. The groundwater containing 29.9% of fresh water, and lakes containing 0.26% of water. Now we are going to discussing about the oceans. The continents and oceans are first order on the earth. The huge water bodies are called oceans. The geographers have divided the oceanic part of the earth into 5 oceans, namely the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean, also known as Antarctic Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. Generally, countries and continents separated by the oceans. The Pacific Ocean separate Asia and Oceania from the America. Next, Atlantic Ocean separate the America from the Europe and Africa. The Indonesia, Southern Asia, and separate Africa and Australia. Next, Atlantic Ocean, sometimes considered as an extension of the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean, Southern Asia, and separate Africa and Australia. Antarctic Ocean, sometimes considered an extension of the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Ocean. Arctic Ocean, sometimes considered a sea of the Atlantic. Millions of years ago, oceans were combined together. The single super ocean was known as Panthalassa. Formal oceanographic investigation began only with the British expedition of Challenger, the first successful worldwide deep sea expeditions. Now we are going to discussing about the relief of the ocean. The ocean basins are in many ways similar to the land surface. That means we can see mountains, plateaus we can see on the ocean floor. Ocean floor divided into 4 parts. Continental shelf, continental slope, deep sea plain, oceanic deep or trenches. The continental shelf with the depth up to 200 meters occupies about 7.6 of the ocean area. It is a border zone between land and sea. The largest continental shelf we can see in Siberia shelf in Antarctic Ocean stretches up to 1500 kilometers in width. The continental shelf is most important because fish wealth is more in this region. Rocky petroleum, natural gas are also found here. Building seaports is possible here. Next, continental slope. The continental slope is spread from 200 meters to 3000 meters depth with complex relief. It occupies 15% of the ocean area. The continental slope boundary indicates of the continents, submarine, canyon are observed in this region. Now deep sea plains or abyssal plains. The deep sea plains are gently sloping area of the ocean basins. These are the flattest and smooth regions of the world. The depth vary between 3000 to 6000 meters. It covered about 76.2% of the ocean floor. Next, oceanic deeps are trenches. These are the large narrow trenches as a great ocean deeps to depth of 6000 meters. More than the 6000 meters depth we consider as a trenches. Most of the deepest trenches are not located in the midst of ocean. They are found more close to the mountains. As many as 57 deeps have been explored so far. Deepest trenches we can find Pacific Ocean, that is Mariana Trench Arch with depth 11,200 meters. Second, Novus, which we can see in Atlantic Ocean with 10,475 meters. Next, Java, which is located in the Indian Ocean, 7,450 meters. Now we are going to discussing about the salinity of the ocean. The ocean water saline, that means it's tasty salt. Salt is the one of the most important food item. Without salt, maximum people they can't eat their food. Freedom struggle, Mahatma Gandhi did struggle Dandi March or salt satyagraha about salt. Why? Because salt is the most important food item. Most of the salt in the ocean come from land. Over millions of years, rain, river and streams have washed over rock containing the compound sodium chloride NaCl and carried into the sea. You may already know sodium chloride, also known as table salt. The total content of dissolved salt in a seawater known as salinity. It is calculated as per the amount of salt dissolved in 1000 grams of the seawater. The average salinity of ocean is 35 percentage or about 35 parts of salt in 1000 parts of the water. Isobars, a line joining points on the seabed at an equal vertical distance beneath of the surface. Salt in the seawater 35 parts out of 1000 parts of water. Otherwise 35% out of 1000. River water contains 2% of the sodium chloride. The factors affecting salinity in the surface of oceans, mainly depending upon the evaporation, precipitation, the ocean currents. The highest salinity in the world we can see Lake Van, Turkey with 330% out of 1000. Second place Dead Sea in Israel 238%. Third place Great Salt Lake in USA 220. Next lowest salinity in the world we can see Baltic Sea only 3 to 15%. Next Hudson Bay, which is located in between the Canada and America, 3 to 15% out of 1000. Isoline, a line joining the points is the ocean having the same degrees of salinity. Now we are going to discussing of the ocean temperature. Ocean temperature, normally the temperature in the oceans varies from -2 degrees to 29 degrees Celsius. When compared to the land, the temperature in ocean does not show much variation, but this little variation shows great impact. For example, in Pacific Ocean occurs El Nino, La Nino. These are effects caused by the changes of temperature in Pacific Ocean. Due to this, in India also getting sometimes low rainfall, sometimes more rainfall, sometimes leads to floods, sometimes leads to drought. Highest temperature is recorded in the inland seas. The temperature is highly recorded in Red Sea, that is 38 degrees Celsius. Now we are going to discussing about the ocean currents. The ocean currents is the generally movement of a mass of water, sometimes called ocean rivers. Ocean currents mainly classified on the basis of temperature, two types. They are cold currents, warm currents. Generally, warm currents flow towards the poles, cold currents flow towards the equator. Ocean currents are classified as a stream and drift based on the speed. The ocean water current which flows speedily is called stream. That which flow slowly is called drift. Ocean currents are caused by the following factors: centrifugal force, effects of winds, precipitation, solar energy. Most important cause for the ocean current is centrifugal force. The centrifugal force at the equator is greater than the top poles because the great circle at the time of revolution. Due to this revolution, the water moves or moving from pole to equator, from equator to poles. Next, effects of winds. The stress of due to the winds, the ocean water also moving along with the winds. Precipitation is also one of the important cause for the ocean currents. The equatorial areas receive the greatest rainfall, hence the sea level is higher. As a result, the water moves north and south from the equator. Next, solar energy. Heating by solar energy caused by the water to expand. That is why the ocean water is about 8 centimeters higher than level near the equator than in the middle latitudes. This causes very slight gradient and water tends to flow down the slope. We are going to discussing about the ocean as a resources. The ocean is the main resource of rainfall, storehouse of the seafood, source of petroleum, source of salt. It is also main source of water transport. Most life on the earth is under the water. Human beings are depending on the oceans for their food and livelihood from the ancient time. Oceans provides abundant food resources like fish and salt. We also use the sand and gravel etc. for our industries or housing. Human extracts minerals like chlorine, fluorine getting from the ocean. Ocean waves are used for generating power. Ocean floors is mining for oil, mainly petroleum. Oceans also providing gems and pearls. But today oceans became a dumping ground. Nearby the oceans, some industries sending their waste into the oceans, and plastic also dumping. Due to this, some aquatic animals dying or disappearing. Many large fish like whales have been disappearing. Do you know, out of 100% pure water, 68.7% we can see ice and snow only. 29.9% water we can see in underground water. 1.4% pure water we can see rivers, lakes and reservoirs. Look at the picture. Petroleum drilling at Mumbai high from the Arabian Sea nearby Mumbai. In the coming class we will discuss about history.